So my background is in mathematics. I did a PhD looking at coastal ocean currents and how these are affected by the geography and the local environmental conditions, and then how they might change in the future under climate change. After finishing my PhD, I wanted to kind of use those scientific skills that I developed and take them into kind of a more tangible area. And being kind of interested in climate change, renewable energy seemed like a really obvious place to go. However, kind of not having that engineering background, for me, I was drawn to the kind of policy aspects of it. And so, yeah, I've been in this role looking at kind of strategic issues to do with offshore wind consenting ever since. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I can't see myself moving out of offshore wind anytime soon. In terms of my day job, I work for the Marine Management Organisation. We enforce and manage consents for offshore wind. And I sit within our strategic renewables unit, who provides support to case teams for any issues that might come up with those consents, within those consents that could be kind of new issues, precedent-setting issues, or anything that's kind of complex or might affect lots of wind farms at the same time. So we'll provide support to those teams, and my role will be the kind of interface between those teams on the ground and the kind of policy changes and decisions that are happening in government as well. And my role specifically in that team is looking at the evidence and the data that underpins those decisions. So it might involve commissioning research projects, looking for funding for research projects, and then once those projects are finished, making sure that our case teams are aware of them and that they're using them in their kind of day-to-day work. In terms of technical skills, for my role, it's about being able to pick up a piece of science or a piece of evidence and kind of analyze it critically, how to work with the experts from that field to kind of get the information that you need out of them. It's all about teamwork. Like, you've got to bring people together from a wide range of different backgrounds, and you've got to be able to facilitate that collaborative environment where everyone can bring their own perspective and everyone can feel heard, and you can kind of work through those different perspectives to get to kind of an unbiased decision. So some of the challenges that you face working in this sector are the pace of it can sometimes be a challenge. It's exciting, but offshore wind is moving very fast. Technology is constantly changing, so there's always kind of new things that you need to be aware of. So something that I was involved in recently that I'm very proud to have been involved with was a piece of work looking at kind of novel and interesting uses for offshore wind. So, for example, using offshore wind to power an oil rig, or combining offshore wind and hydrogen production, for example. And that was an interesting piece of work because we were putting together a handbook of what different regulations applied to these kind of complex cases, what consents would be needed. And it was interesting because you were kind of bringing together lots of people from different areas, learning lots about new technologies that I'd not encountered before. And it was kind of like putting together a puzzle to kind of figure out the roadmap to building some of these interesting new technologies. So my favorite things about working in offshore wind are the pace of it, the kind of rapid changes going on in technology and policy, makes it constantly fresh, makes it really exciting. And then also the kind of diversity of people that I work with. So I work day to day with marine biologists, engineers, lawyers. There's really kind of like this big team of people all working together for our kind of shared mission of delivering net zero. I think the advice that I've been given, which I would definitely share with anyone, is that offshore wind needs something from everyone. It doesn't really matter what your educational background is, where your interests are, there will likely be a role in offshore wind for you. And so if it's something you're interested in, then just go for it, and I'm sure you'll find that role.